This video is going to concern something I'm not an expert in. This is from research and also being a helper. Here's some information if you or a viewer needs it. And you can ignore my commentary if you choose to. I also copy and paste almost exactly what you're going to see in the description underneath videos of people who need the information. And I say that as well under it. The too long didn't read is, if you find a baby squirrel, you have to warm it up. Otherwise, it can't drink water, digest anything, or process anything, and it can't be returned to its mother because a mother squirrel will reject a cold squirrel because it thinks it's dying. Your first rule after warming it up is to return it to mama. Not feed it, not hydrate it. Just get it back to mama. She can do almost everything you can't because you probably don't know what you're doing. And even if you do, you may not be able to succeed as easily as a little squirrel. Now, if you can't return it to its mother quickly enough, you need to safely rehydrate it. Get its water levels up to normal. Then you can safely only then give it formula. You cannot give it solid foods. Don't even think that. You must seek out a wildlife rehabilitator for help and keep trying until it's releasable or returned to mama. You can try over several days. Clues to here, which are not going to be down here in the cut and paste. Mother squirrels, if they see you pick up a baby, there may be more than one that might be related or not, but they'll start making a noise. Yes, that's a poor imitation. If you hear that, you can, if the baby is warmed up, turn it upside down, get it to squeak, and see which one or if all of them start reacting, and try to put it where they can see it so they can retrieve it. But let's do the long version. Safety, broken down into subsections. Baby squirrels don't survive rabies long enough to be able to infect you with it. And more importantly, they die usually before they show any signs. Worrying about a squirrel having rabies is like worrying about a lightning bolt and winning the lottery. It's a bit of a reach. And if you want to know the biological reason, it's because their nervous systems are physically short enough and run at such a high metabolic rate because they're fast reacting animals that the rabies generally just incapacitates and kills them before they could ever be coming towards you. If it's ambulatory and coming towards you, it probably doesn't have anything like that. Trauma to the head especially and other parts of the body of an animal can mimic rabies. Now I'm going to say this very clearly. You are not putting an animal out of its misery by killing it when it just needs help from somebody who isn't stupid and armed. I don't care if you like that statement. Put it away if you're thinking of it. Oh, and if you're watching this and one of your relatives is about to put down an animal and he doesn't know what he's doing, mechanically pull the magazine out of the gun, rack the slide to knock the shell out, run away with the magazine, and don't let them shoot anything. Just thought I'd insert that. Baby squirrels are, when they have given up looking for mama, won't squeak anymore. Squeak, squeak, squeak. They're also fearless, very sociable, and will pursue and climb on you or your pets. That means it's very likely an orphan. There's nothing wrong. It's looking for mama. There will be others. They're usually born in groups of 3, 4, 5. Look for a nest that's fallen down. And again, listen for mama chirping at you, making noises. Get it warmed up or mama won't pick it up. If you find them, warm them all up and bring them back and play back an audio recording on the internet of a baby squirrel yelling for mama. All pets have digestive oral bacteria, and so do you. Don't let them handle the baby. Just don't. It'll give them bacterial infections that will kill it. Period, full stop. No, your dog isn't a good dog or a bad dog. It's just able to do that. The same thing that makes it where they don't have to brush their teeth is what kills everything else. Separate them. And again, if you're one of those people, I don't have to put my dog on a leash. Please hand the baby animal over to somebody who is not, by definition, stupid. No, I don't care if you hate. I don't care. Just like the person with a gun. No. The answer is no. It always was no. It's still no. Even when you type below, it's still no. Just stop. Your dog licking on a baby animal can kill it. Its immune system doesn't know how to deal with that. Just get over it. Health. Baby squirrels don't have the ability to stay warm, drink, eat, or eliminate without assistance till 40 days old. Each of these capabilities eventually kick in, but until they're 40 days old, you're going to have to take care of them like they're literally an infant human. Did I mention seek out a wildlife rehabilitator for help and keep trying till you succeed or it's released? Mom will not reject a baby for your scent, but she will reject a cold baby. Bring it inside and warm it up to human body temperature, then try to reunite it with mom. You can look up how to reunite baby squirrels with their mothers or baby animals with their mothers. Then look up reuniting tree squirrel babies with their mom at mary.cc on the internet, or the current name for it, and it's just called Squirrels You Reunite as part of the URL. But if you just type in reuniting tree squirrel babies with their mom, you'll probably find it if you do it in quotes. And again, if all this fails, again, I will repeat this. Don't care if you like it. Get a wildlife rehabilitator. Get somebody who knows what they're doing, because if anybody says, "Oh, I have 100% success rate," they're probably not qualified. If it's a group of people, they are. Wildlife rehabilitators learn and find out that you can't save them all. Anybody claiming to know everything about the subject is lying, period, full stop, or a fool. Feeding methods and mathematics. Don't skip this part. This is something I got to learn about a long time ago, but it is still kind of funny. Its weight in grams can be divided by 20, and that will give you approximately how much of its body capacity can be its stomach. 1/20th of its body weight is a meal to a baby squirrel. Watch videos of them eating and see how greedy they are, even when they're teeny tiny. You want to do a feeding every 2 hours or whatever timing schedule based on that ratio. So if they weigh 200 grams, which would be a really big baby, then you can divide that down by 20 and give them 10 cc's of feed. Obviously, that's going to be a very extreme number. That will come up later. And that's every 2 hours at the beginning. The feeding process. To prevent them from choking on it or aspiration pneumonia, gagging on it and getting sick, you have to feed it via oral syringe feeder pointing upwards towards the baby's mouth if it's laying down or in a seated position. You have to rehydrate it first using, if you have everything, great, but if all you have is water, do that. But you use Pedialyte if possible to keep its metabolism running correctly. And then, again, you look up Thirsty Baby Squirrel by Jasmine 121176. It's a 2018 September 11th video. It's the only video on her channel. Just look up Jasmine 121176 and you'll find the video. None of this works if you use anything but a gram scale that's properly made. They don't cost very much. Get one. I repeat, get one. If you do the excuse of, I can't spend the money or whatever, again, I'm repeating myself. Seek out a wildlife rehabilitator that knows what they're doing and keep trying until it's, with them, releasable, or you can get it back to mom. Next, explaining why. A squirrel's weight in grams is 20 times the safe stomach capacity in milliliters per feeding. Find its weight in grams divided by 20. That's the number of milliliters or cc's to feed each meal. Again, metric. You have to have a gram scale and you have to have a cc syringe, which is the default. Now, there are other feeders. You can get a pet egg kit. Get the one that does the most consistent movement of introducing the fluid for the baby to eat. Eventually, they'll get big enough that if you hand them a syringe, they'll drain it. You might have to slow it down or feed them half as much twice. This 5% rule, again, only works if you use a metric gram scale. Have I said that enough? Warning, defiant and oppositional defiant disorder people, aka contrarians. No. If you do something trumpeting how you can say, don't tell me how to do something, and you end up killing an animal, you're going to make your children remember this. You want your kid looking at you like that for the rest of your life? No? Then stop being defiant and actually learn. And again, I can be completely wrong. I'm not an expert, but this is the collection of information from a trudging through of 75 websites run by rehabilitators and zoos. Diet. A fast-growing baby of any kind, but squirrels especially, need adequate nutrition till they start rejecting being fed at 10 weeks old, or later or earlier. Until they reject it, you keep feeding the formula. Then the extras. You can make a DIY 24-hour perishable, it only lasts 24 hours, mix. This is suggested until it's showing signs of being a month old or so. 3 parts goat milk formula can be used, but you have to make sure, you have to look up on a bunch of web boards which ones are safe because they keep having inconsistency problems. But 3 parts human grade goat milk, whole. 3 parts yogurt or Greek yogurt. 2 parts heavy whipping cream or some other ratio. The idea here is you're mixing things together that will make the animal healthier. At some point, you introduce probiotics so it can digest everything easier. The idea is to feed it easily digested, high-value product. Over 4 weeks old, you can then transition to the off-the-shelf formulas that are safe that year. You have to continually look up which ones are screwed up. This is just how it is because baby squirrels are awful sensitive. Also, every once in a while, companies like Pet Ag end up killing off show dogs because they sell stuff that's contaminated or tainted. And no, I'm not going to stop saying that. You can use Fox Valley Day 1 2050 zoo, wildlife, or other grade formulas. They sell them, and lots of zoos use this kind of stuff. Again, seek out Wildlife Rehabilitator for help and advice. There's an entire board on Reddit I can't link to because YouTube's flagging random shit again. And there's a YouTube channel I mentioned, and offshoot channels. Next, at 6 weeks of age, you're at the point where it can start eating solids. It'll also take care of itself. It can also relieve itself on its own. Again, up to, how many days? You're going to have to take care of everything about it. Again, it's a baby, everything but the damn diaper. And in some cases, even the diaper. But at 6 weeks of age, it'll start chewing on things. Give it something to chew on. Fruits, monkey chow, dry puppy science diet, chunky pieces. No nuts. Unless you know exactly which ones to give, just don't do it. At 8 weeks of age, test the baby to see if it can drink water from a shallow container. Supervise it. Keep your finger under its chin so it can't choke itself. Only when it's that old can you start testing that. They'll learn by doing, and you don't want them aspirating the water. And see if they can crack open nuts, even though you're not really going to let them eat too many. 1 or 2, okay, but, see if they have teeth. You'll also need to look up a 1 foot by 1 foot by 2 foot tall nesting box and a 4 foot by 4 foot by 7 foot tall pre-release cage where you put in branches and the nesting box so it can learn to build nests, climb tree limbs, that sort of thing. Again, get help because this is a very, very large amount of effort. You are going to soft release it, slowly free it, because they become unpleasantly wild by the time they're 6 months old and they chew on everything. During all of this, again, seek out wildlife rehabilitators for help. Keep trying until you find them, it's releasable, etc. Why listen to experts? Mixed with some good info on the internet, you will find advice peppered everywhere that will end up killing the animal. Cow's milk can kill. Period, full stop. Don't even argue. Yes, I know you'll find somebody who's literally invoking religious imagery to say it has to be cow milk. She's killed hundreds. I'm not naming her. Goat's milk. Goat's milk can be used. It's an ingredient. It's not the entire answer. Human baby formulas do not work. We do not have the same physiology. Most other pet products lack nutritional value or less digestible. Boiling or scalding them or altering won't fix it unless you get specific instructions otherwise. Over a long term of months, this will cause failure to thrive, convulsions, and death. Again, get a wildlife rehabilitator. Links below in the description will be at a single link that is archived. Please click it to view all of it. Again, I'm not an expert. I'm conveying the information as condensed as possible from dozens of experts. Please look them up. You can find help forums even on Reddit now for this. And some of this stuff will translate over to finding someone to help you with any other animal you find. And the reason these people do this as volunteers has only to do with one thing. We humans cause most of the problems, and this is a way of paying them back. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. Please get help from an expert.